The gym and the weights have never let me down. 100 kilos is always 100 kilos. It's consistent, it never changes. All I think about when I'm on the platform is feet planted, lats tight, and lift. I seem to go under the radar a lot of the time, maybe because I'm not on social media screaming and shouting about how good I am, but that's the way I like it. I like to go under the radar. I like to be kind of an underdog. I do feel like I'm overlooked and dismissed because people think I have certain weaknesses. I take I'll take a lot of things that personally, if people kind of say certain things or dismiss me or leave me out of certain things, I'll take that personally. And I'll use that in my training, maybe not on the competitive platform because obviously there's a lot going on, but when I'm training, I've got stuff written down on the wall, I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm using that as fuel to build the fire of training. It's not effectively now. It's not good enough just being a great strongman. You have to, play the social media game, not just for sponsors, but even for promoters of shows, etc. They want popular people per se as well for some shows. I wish it wasn't really like that. I wish it was, more just dedicated towards the sport. But it is what it is. So, I'm trying to embrace that side more. I'm still quite a little bit in denial about how many people kind of do follow me and want me to do well. I'm not used to that, and at least that kind of social media platform allows me to kind of interact with them.
Probably someone else's stands first. I definitely wouldn't be lifting it today.
When I'm on the platform, it's just all about doing the job. Like I know a lot of time how many reps I need to do to win that event, and it's just about executing. I'm focusing on keeping my lats tight, keeping my feet planted, pushing through the flat of my foot, driving the bar all the way up to lockout, waiting for that down signal. So there's not a lot of time to be thinking about other things. It's just about concentrating on the movement and executing. You don't have time as well when we're only up there for 60 seconds, so it's not too long. And if your mind does wander, you're probably going to lose out a little bit. For me, it's about the end goal. Firstly, to do it every day, I still love it, I still enjoy it. It's not a drag for me doing this. It's a fantastic way to make a living. But for me to when I'm in those kind of like deep waters, trying to go through those harder reps, it's all about focusing on the end goal. Which for me is to win that World's Strongest Man title, to regain or retain my Britain's Strongest Man title. It's those kind of goals that I kind of visualise and kind of see myself up on that podium and see myself holding that trophy. That imagery is quite strong, and that's what kind of keeps me going when times are tough, it's dark, and you don't want to be training and you just want to be chilled out, etc. For me, it's those kind of moments that really shape a prep for World's Strongest Man. It's whether you kind of roll over or whether you dig your heels in and kind of grab through it. I mean, my biggest regret was dropping the stone at Europe's Strongest Man in 2020. I lost that title. I'd worked myself into a great position to be able to win it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is what it all comes down to. Europe's Strongest Man 2020 here at Allerton Castle. Richardson, Bishop, first blood on Stonewall, and Richardson right behind.
And then just, a slip on the Atlas stone. It happens. It's just unfortunate that it happened at that event, at that moment. With a point or 2 points in the lead going into the stones up against Luke Richardson, and effectively I blinked first and slipped on that 160, and that was kind of game over. So I had a great opportunity there to have Britain's Strongest Man and Europe's Strongest Man titles in the same year. That was probably my biggest regret so far in strongman. Strongman definitely can be quite dark. I mean, you have to go to a dark place for that split second that you need to lift something extremely heavy, but obviously then you've got the elation afterwards of lifting it, and I think if you spend too much time in the dark, it will consume you. I see a lot of guys now who are intense all the time, whether it's in training, in between sets, in between events. We'll be told, right, you're up now in 20 minutes, get warmed up, and then suddenly there'll be a rain delay and you've got to bring yourself back down, chill out again. So being able to basically get yourself psyched up in a very short amount of time is hugely important, just because obviously you just burn that nervous energy and you'll be exhausted by the time you get to lift. it's just too much. It'll burn you out. It will consume your life, and it'll really mess you up. So I think being able to switch on and switch off is ultimately, you know, the biggest benefit you can have from the mental side of things, you know, as a strongman. So obviously I've known Rob and Diesel about 10 years now, and you know, they come with me to my competitions. You know, it started off with obviously Diesel in my corner, and the great thing is, like, me and Diesel have known each other so long, we kind of, he knows when I'm kind of stressed and when I don't want to talk and when I do want to talk, so it's brilliant, you know, to have that person who can completely gets you. And obviously with Rob, you know, I've known Rob as equally as long, and for me, Rob's he's a brilliant motivator. He knows exactly what to say. He's a fresh set of eyes that, you know, will look at something and just see it differently. You know, something I might have overlooked, and he'll know kind of what to do there. And another thing, he's just great fun to have around. You know, he's a funny guy. Most of the time, I get stressed at comps. He'll be making jokes. He'll be, you know, playing the fool, and it really relaxes me. Like, one of our favourite pastimes is taking the piss out of other competitors backstage. So it's a great way to relax, and they're two brilliant guys down in my corner, and I'm very, very fortunate to have them there. You know, like, a barbell is always the same. It doesn't judge you. It doesn't treat you any differently day to day. It's always the same. So someone doesn't turn up gravity overnight. You know, it's a constant. It can be, you know, for some people, it can be the only constant in their life, and you know, it's a beautiful thing. So a lot of people who get into a bad space mentally is because they have a lot of inconsistencies in their life, whether that's relationships, you know, a broken family, no real support. And what I would say is that, you know, the gym and the weights will never let you down. You know, they don't change. It's always the famous saying, you know, 100 kilos is always 100 kilos. It's something that someone can take complete ownership of, and they can just drive to be better. And that better might, you know, their better might be to add 5 kilos to their deadlift. It might be to add 1 kilo to their deadlift. It might be just a deadlift with better form, and that's improvement. You know, and I'd implore anyone who doesn't train to, you know, go to the gym, train if they want to. Just make sure you have something in your life where you're exercising and you know, have something that's yours, you know, and just your time to be you.
And the last one's 225.
You know, for me, I'm just an athlete. I'm just an athlete who lifts weights and enjoys it. You know, I don't think too much about what the repercussion afterwards or the following, etc. So, you know, definitely I'm just kind of an athlete first, and then, yeah, an entertainer second, I guess. But the way to build a legacy is to get your name etched on those trophies, because that never goes away. So to get my name etched on that World's Strongest Man title is in my opinion the best way to build a legacy.